Excellent.
Oh,
Arrived.
I will retweet you. Let me know when you've.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just
No
frantically
problem.
getting our URL. What are we? We are X and Y.
Yes. So while you're doing that,
Mm.
and let me just do this one more thing.
And
Hey,
I have tweeted.
thank you. Tweeted.
I forgot to tag you in it. I'm doing a great job. Off to a great start. I'm sorry. Making you manually go to my Twitter page and retweet me.
It's alright. It should come up pretty early on. Yes. A very normal and easy sentence to understand.
Just trying to keep it accessible for everyone, accessible and inclusive.
For all the teens. So, oh geez, spoiling it. I don't know if you saw my Instagram story because I think I took a photo of it.
I haven't yet.
So every now and then my work. Oh wait, are we streaming? Oh yes, we are streaming. Okay. Every now and then at work there's a special table, and we get a lot of free stuff in the office. A lot of stuff for reviews and whatever, and lots of extra copies of things for like giveaways and that sort of stuff. So there's a big table, and people just leave things for free. And I've gotten a lot of cool stuff from there. I've gotten this Elgato capture card that I use for the Switch stream from there.
Very convenient.
Yeah, a bunch of statues of like video game character figure things. And there's a lot of DVDs. A lot of books and DVDs are the main things. I've picked up a new DVD going on the all-time great find list, which is, I think it's reverse image, Final Fantasy VII Advent Children, which is the Final Fantasy VII movie. When it came out, 2005.
Just now discovering there is a movie. I didn't know there was a movie.
It is a CG movie. It's 2 years since the end of Final Fantasy VII. I watched half of it as a kid because I actually have another copy of this, but not with the bonus features. And it is at home, back down at my parents' home. But now I have this. Don't worry, I got 2 copies.
Tell your parents to throw it in the bin.
Yeah, get rid of it, Mum and Dad. Dad, cheers.
That's really cool.
Yeah, has anyone joined us?
Let
me see. Oh wait, does that work?
I think it's just me at this point.
Yeah, hell yeah.
That's okay, I've joined you.
Oh shit, I opened Battle.net. Because I do this all the time. It's because on my quick start bar thing, the bottom bar. Yeah, Battle.net is next to Chrome.
A dangerous place for it to be.
I was going to move it somewhere else, but then I'll open a different application, so
yeah,
whatever.
So can you change the shortcuts on your phone? I know I did that. I moved. I used to have like YouTube and Netflix and all of the things for streaming stuff all scattered, and then I was like, no, put them together in a folder, and then I would just randomly open like Google Maps when I wanted to watch TV.
Yeah, I did. I try to keep mine consistent, and they're all in a particular order. I can't remember what that order is now because Uber Eats is next to YouTube, but actually, I guess that sort of correlates.
They go together. They're related. Yeah. They're tangentially, well, not even tangentially. They're quite related.
Yeah, but it doesn't even matter now that these are out of order because I can't swap them because my brain won't be able to process it for a long time. Yeah.
Do you want to kick things off?
Yes.
With Oshawott?
Yes.
Or Oshawott is going on?
Yes. Yes, I do. Because I believe we were talking about... Oh, yes, I just remember some slides I need to add.
Maybe I didn't do the intro. I didn't do the intro.
Yeah, it's your turn.
Yes, it is my turn. So, a belated welcome to Pokemon X and Y. I am Bianca.
I'm Brendan.
And now we can continue with the Oshawott talk.
Yes. Can you, while I'm starting this, can you make a slide on this presentation and add the other starters from this gen, which I think is Gen 5?
Yes.
Thank you.
I can.
Thank you. They can go at the end, but it doesn't really matter. Anyway, I included this meme because I thought the pun was not great, but at the same time, very good. So, yes, we were talking about this at some point. It may have been when we were doing the black and white stream, which I should also point out too. Like, I do want to keep doing that. However, I got very into Sword and Shield, and going back is like really, really hard. It's rough.
Yeah, there's a lot of quality of life stuff that is going to make going back to old gens undesirable.
Yeah.
even though we know how, I think we all know how much you love Gen 5 and how I really like that gen as well. There's just some real clunky stuff that has persisted in Pokemon for such a long time.
Yeah, but I don't know what it is, but I could like go back to Gen 1 and 2 anytime because I know what to expect because I've played those two like a lot, and Gen 3 as well. Like I know what to expect, but the other ones I'm not as intimately familiar, and the clunkiness becomes even more apparent. Like fuck, Gen 1 has so much clunky shit in it, but I can play it all day because like I know what the score is.
Yeah.
Yes, I know what's happening. It's all good. I'm very interested to know if Final Fantasy VII holds up in that way. Have you started playing it?
I haven't yet.
Okay.
But it's funny. A friend of mine was talking about like all these remakes and stuff that are coming out. Like Warcraft 3 is about to release imminently. Link's Awakening has come out. They're redoing Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. Like there's the remakes of the big thing. And when they're extremely faithful, like Crash Bandicoot, it's awful. When they're like, I say that Crash Team Racing is great, and I'm glad they stayed faithful. Crash Bandicoot, it was just there were some choices that they did in Crash Bandicoot 1 that made it very difficult to.
Crash Bandicoot 1 is fucked.
Yeah. You're all having a fun time until you get up to that level with the village. And then you just hate your life so much. And I just... But it's funny because I didn't play a lot of these remakes as a kid because I didn't have like all of the consoles. So I never played Link's Awakening. I never played Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. I never played Warcraft 3. So I don't have that. And the same with a lot of the earlier Pokemon gens. I only played Gen 2. I didn't play a lot of the other ones. So like the remakes are the first time I'm playing them. And you can definitely tell when they've changed things for the better. Because every now and then you'll come across a mechanic and it's like, oh, this sucks. And there's the reason we don't do it that way anymore. And thank you for reminding me that this is how it once was.
Yeah, absolutely. Even the first gen has so many of those. It's ridiculous. I do need to talk about Crash Bandicoot real quickly for a second because everyone loved those remakes, and I thought they were great.
Yeah.
I've never spoken about this publicly before. However, the jumps are slightly different. Are you aware of this?
Yeah, they were like ever so slightly.
They're ever so slightly harder to land, and they're a few frames shorter.
But the thing that I always thought the big thing was the fact that you could slip off things. The hit boxes for landing on things was kind of like a slope, so it was easy to land and then slip. Whereas it's not like a flat surface where you should just land. Even if you just land, you'll still land. Maybe I'm thinking of something else.
I've never come across that problem.
Oh, maybe I'm thinking of something else then.
I'm not sure, but it's made me fucking hate those remakes. Like, it's the reason I haven't finished all 3 of them because it made me so fucking angry.
Yeah, Crash 1 is there's just a point you just get up to, and I gave up long before Mitch did, and then I was watching Mitch do it, and eventually it was like, let's just play Crash 2.
Yeah.
And then it was better, but still there were problems with it, but it was much, much better.
I think the problem is that if I had a choice between going back and playing the actual original games or the remake, I would rather play the originals. And that's a huge problem, and it's not an indictment on the quality of the remake that they did, but
yeah, there's something to, and this might be controversial, but there's something about new Crash's face, which is just I don't know what it is. It looks different. And I know that original Crash has about 8 polygons, and that's part of the charm. But I don't know what it is about new Crash versus old Crash. But there's something about his face that just, I don't know. I can't put my finger on it, but there's something different, and it's not as endearing to me.
I'm trying to find the game. I'm not sure which one it is, but there is a game where he gets like fucking tribal tattoos.
What? Okay.
It's from 2007.
And yes, Dom, the curved slippy hitboxes. I thought I was thinking about Crash. I swear, like I remember using it as a crutch for why Crash 1 was so hard, was that there was the hitboxes had kind of like domed edges. So it was possible to land jump.
Yeah.
But then you wouldn't.
Absolutely, yeah. They're not really a thing in the other games, so, but I mean, they sort of are. This is the evolution of Crash's design.
Oh my god, there's tattoos.
Yeah. And they faded them out in the next game. Look, they're embarrassed, but they couldn't show how embarrassed they truly were.
Yeah. I don't know what it is between the 96 and 2003. Even it's up until 2004, and it's fine. But then I don't know what it is. 2017, it's just, I don't know if it's the eyes, if it's the mouth. It's not the eyebrows; they're fine.
Yeah.
Or if it's just the fact that he was a model that was designed in 1996, and that just taking that same design and doing it on new hardware and new design techniques or whatever, it just looks it just looks weird. I don't know.
I don't feel the same way you do, but I understand. I think it looks fine. But your opinion is valid.
Yeah, still love it, but I don't know. There's just something that I can't put my finger on.
Just looking at this, I just had a weird thought, which is that the original games, the first one that I played was Crash Bandicoot 2, which is like the first game that we got on that PlayStation 1 when we got one.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's the one that I played with and I'm most familiar with. However, the one in my brain is 2004. Like, but it's just that that's what he looked like. Like, he didn't look this polygonal in my memory. It's weird.
Yeah. No, I definitely have 96 in my head, because I know we've talked about this to death, or I've talked about this to death, but Crash was like one of the few ones that I had, and I just would do the first couple of levels over and over because it was too hard. And I just vividly remember just him turning around and going like turning around and doing the I don't have thick enough eyebrows for it to be really impactful, but
yes. I understand. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you. Can you buy shoes like Crash? Just please respond. That's a great question. His shoes have changed though.
Yeah.
His shoes have changed. He's got plain red ones, but then he's also got like these weird Converse ones during his tribal tattoo phase.
His current 2017 ones look like bowling shoes.
They do look like bowling shoes.
Or they look like trains.
Like bullet trains.
Yeah, they look like the big cargo train that you fly on in the first Ratchet and Clank game in like the second level. Anyway, weird pull, but whatever. So yeah, Oshawott, right?
Yeah, that's what we're here to talk about. This is a Pokemon stream, remember?
So I think we talked about this on the Pokemon Black White stream, but the design is very obvious. It's a cool otter.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's called Osha. It sounds like otter. And then, it's like a sort of atomically, well, not atomically correct, but sort of looks like an actual otter. Mm-hmm. And it also has subtle themes of like being a samurai.
Yeah. He's got the pants, those kind of big pants.
Yes. Oh.
I nearly had my pants go flying. Mm-hmm. Big pants on. He had big pants on. Mm-hmm.
And then we advance to. So this is what an otter looks like. Also, I have included an image here. By the way, get around these otters. They're so cute, and they crush clams on their little bellies, and they eat from their little bellies.
What's not to love? Apart from the fact that are definitely not to love, but I don't want to talk about them because I love otters too much.
Yeah. So, who is this guy over here? Samurott. Who is he?
He got lost. He's like when you those stories that you hear of when you go to the Pokemon hospital and you've just had a baby, and they've put all the babies in the baby room, and then you get the wrong one back after you've put it in there, and you just get the wrong one, and then you don't realize until later because how are you supposed to tell babies apart?
They switch babies at the hospital, man. That's actually true. That is an Auntie Donna. Yeah, anyway. What do you think of Samurott? Because I think Oshawott's a bit cutesy, whatever. I think both Dewott and Samurott look fucking cool as hell.
Yeah. So I told you before that Mitch and I were talking about, and unprompted to when you sent that thing through about Oshawott earlier today, we were talking about Oshawott because I think it's way too similar to Piplup.
Yeah, we talked about this on stream as well.
Yeah. He's adorable and he's very cute and I love him. And when you see clips of him in that anime, poor Oshawott, he's getting picked on all the time. It's very adorable. But why did they have to do it? Like, it's the same body shape, it's the same dimensions, it's the same proportions, it's the same color. Too samey, unfortunately, because it's adorable. It's a real, maybe, I don't know if it's because they came out like too close together as well. Like, if they were sort of
because it's Gen 4 and then Gen 5,
yeah. So if they were a bit spaced further apart, it would be less of an issue. It's I don't, and when it comes to the other two, Dewott and Samurott, I like Dewott. I don't love Samurott, but only because he sticks so far out. I feel like if there was a different line, then I might like him better. He's such a sore thumb. Like, he sticks out so bad.
If these Pokemon get added to the current game, I want to have a Dewott, but like give it Eviolite, which makes it ups its defense if it doesn't evolve.
Yeah.
And just do something because it looks really cool.
It does. Yeah, it does.
So what is this? I made a meme. So we actually have an explanation. I did actually know this. However, the what's the Twitter account's name? So what is this? Hey, I've got 90k subbers I followed, so I'd appreciate it if you watch my YouTube vids.
At Zemotrax.
I don't think so.
No, thank you. You look like spam.
I don't know how to. Anyway, yeah. So, what's the name of this Twitter account? Doctor something? I can't remember. If you could look it up while I tell the story. So, yeah. Luckily, there is an explanation for this. Oshawa has 91k subs. So this is from Yusuke Omura. His name is the designer. I did not make that bottom text impact followed by Comic Sans, but you know, I love it. It's something I would do. So he says, I started working on the Oshawott design after we'd already decided it was going to be based on an otter. Everybody drew lots of sketches, but we couldn't come up with any good ideas for an otter's evolutions. It wouldn't be very interesting if the evolutions were just bigger otters that stand on two legs. Arguable. I think it would be better. I think it would be better. I think it would be better choice.
Maybe you should have tried it. Maybe you should have tried it before discarding the idea.
Yeah. But here we go. Here's the real meat and two veg of the situation, which is a phrase I just coined. Well, I'm the type of person who can't draw without looking at the real thing. So when I went to see a live otter, otter exhibit. When I was visiting the otters, there just so happened to be a sea lion show nearby. And when I saw how powerful the sea lions look when they move around, I thought, they look so strong. And that's how I came up with the concept of Samurott, which I then linked to Oshawott. It was Samurott's design that came to me first, even before Oshawott. What are you talking about?
It's like the idea of like doing a Pokemon based on an ant, and then you see like a wasp, and you're like, oh, that's so cool. I'll just make it be a wasp. It's a completely different species, bro.
Yeah.
And by the way, I think the YouTube, the Twitter account that you're talking about is Dr. Lava.
Yes, Dr. Lava, that's it.
Yep.
Thank you. So this is what a sea lion looks like, and I totally get the resemblance then at least. It's not like super accurate, but the fins at least make sense, that it goes from fucking bipedal to quadrupedal.
See, quadruped. Surely.
Yes.
I really have to challenge him when he says that they look powerful when they move around. Like, there's sea animals. Are you talking about them moving around on land where they sort of like wiggle and hop?
Yeah, they're like
undulate a little bit.
It's like how a worm moves.
Yeah. They don't really like. Yeah.
The blubber like
a worm
moves
or a snake
and jiggles.
or something.
Yeah.
That'll wiggle themselves forward. Because strong is not the word that I would use to describe a beached sea lion. It's just
bold, like, but okay.
You know, Wolverine.
Yes.
That's a sea lion.
Yeah.
That's a sea lion, baby.
Yeah, Samurott looks more like a dog.
Yeah, it looks like a buff sea lion.
Yeah, like a big buff dog.
Yeah. He just looks like a dog with a tail, basically.
I think it'd be so much cooler if it was just its own thing and Duok got a
big tall otter samurai.
Yeah. Yeah, like,
imagine if they gave Duot a big sword.
Oh. Yeah, they have to wait until fucking now to give Pokemon swords. I'd actually Surfish has a lance, doesn't he? He doesn't have a sword.
Yeah, but the door's still open, you know.
There's still time. I just wanted you to put in this last slide just to ask you your opinion on which one is your favorite. However, I'm almost positive that we talked about your problems with Tepig and that you like Snivy.
I do, yeah. Yes. I absolutely do. Because Tepig, I just didn't want a big fat man as my...
Oh, Emboss sucks.
Yeah. And you know, this is really what I was talking with Mitch about. We're talking about like starters and then like end starters, and how you, like with Tepig, he's a cute little thing, and then it just turns into something that you really don't want. And just how like some of them are just really weird, and you just wish that they were a bit more normal. Like Oshawott a good one. Even the same with Feraligatr. Like Totodile's really awesome, and then Feraligatr's like this hunched over, like maniacal looking thing.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's very cool, but also very weird. And I was just thinking like the ultimate, like trying to get the ultimate of each stage to make the ultimate starter, even though that wouldn't make any sense because none of them, you know, you just end up with an Oshawott Samurott problem.
Yes.
3 times in a row. But it was an interesting idea because definitely some start stronger than others and others finish stronger than others.
Well, that's fair. Great points raised by all. I'm happy with that. Now, I'm very interested to see this presentation.
Yes. This is one I remember I was telling you the idea a little while ago.
Yes.
And there's so many now. There's so many Soylent Mons, and these are mons that are just people. They're just people. It's just these humanoid Pokemon that they're calling Pokemon, but really they're just people. Furry people, scaly people, rocky people, whatever, man. They're just people. And I thought I wanted to go a little bit deeper in, a little bit to focus on some of the particularly concerning ones, some of the ones that maybe make a lot of sense, some of the ones that don't at all. And
concerning is the correct word.
Concerning is definitely the word, yeah. Now,
alarming?
Alarming is another good word to describe some of these Pokemon. So I've gathered a few on the next slide, just as a bit of a sampler to show you what I'm talking about. So you'll see here, Mr. Mime is a big one, Machoke's a big one, Inteleon, monumentally big Soylent Mon, Cacturne, Lucario, Deoxys, Blaziken, Mewtwo. There's more that I could fit on here, and because I wanted to actually be able to see the Pokemon. I haven't overlapped too much. And they get more and more prevalent they have become more and more prevalent as time has gone on, because you'll notice that from the first gen, it's pretty much only Mr. Mime, Machoke, and Mewtwo. And then it's just, you end up with the current gen where all of the starters turned into people. And there's...
It is a thing with starters, isn't it?
It is a thing with starters. It really is a thing with starters.
You like Cinderace?
Well, there's a slide on him. Don't worry.
Also Inteleon.
I just wanted to point out, though, what I have made a mental distinction between, which is just on the next slide.
Yes, this is. I'm interested.
Yeah, which I think is important. Where you have there's definitely a shitload of Pokemon that just they have 2 legs and 2 arms and they stand up straight and they have a face and a head and they sort of look human-ish. And then there's the ones I'm talking about, which is Inteleon and his merry band of Soylent Mons. Because Shiftry here, like, yeah, he's got a humanoid shape, but that's not a person. That's like a weird wood spirit with leaf hands.
Oh, yeah.
That's not a person. Inteleon is a person. Lucario is a person. You know, Tyranitar is not a person, even though they technically stand on 2 legs and have bipedal humanoid forms. I just want to make that really clear, because if you don't, then you're all of a sudden you're looking at about 400 different Pokemon, and that was not feasible. And it's already a long list. Trimming it down.
So a couple of points. One, very quickly on Shiftry, I always thought it was huge. And then I saw one in the wild area in Sword and Shield, and it's like a tiny little boy.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. I would have just assumed he was like.
He's like the same size. He's like the same size as a Nuzleaf.
I'll just make him just like that.
Just a little boy. The other one is that I would have even distinguished it a little bit further in terms of Pokemon. You can see a few here. By the way, round of applause on this slide.
Thank you.
I can see that you've put Pokemon in front and in the same position as the
I tried to match them up as best I could.
Yes, and the rivals up the top. It's brilliant work from top to bottom. But the Pokemon where you can't really argue that it's anything else other than a human, but they can't have a human. I think Inteleon just sort of sits on that line because it's obviously supposed to be like a gecko, but it's also sort of wearing a suit.
Yeah. I think clothes is a big one.
I think that is I think that's distinguished. So on this page, in that category, I would include Mr. Mime, Machoke. Blaziken would be on the border just because it has clothes and it looks like someone wearing a costume.
Yeah.
Or Cacturne.
See, it's really hard to blur the line.
Yes.
Yeah. And the cactus one is I'll quickly get in there. I almost did a whole thing about Cacturne, and comparing him to was it Togumon? The cactus Digimon, for those who aren't in the know. I didn't end up doing that because I feel like Digimon, I don't want to open Pandora's box and unleash Digimon content to be fair game on the stream
for free.
Just yet.
Not for free.
Yeah, for free. Excuse me. You need to donate to my Patreon for that.
Exactly.
Pay me money, please.
So yes.
Furries need a game to play too. This isn't a furry thing. This is not a furry thing.
We've already had a furry episode. You were there.
Yes. This is beyond furries.
Beyond Furry Dome. We can have a part 2, by the way.
Yes, there's nothing stopping us.
I would like to move to the next slide.
Yes, let's. Of course. This is a lot of Pokemon that I've named on this slide. I was thinking about getting images for each of them, but there's a lot of Pokemon, and I'm sure we mostly know what they are.
Yeah.
So this was my really scientific method of scrolling through a list of every Pokemon on a Pokédex website that had their sprite and just visually identifying ones that I would call Soylent Mons.
Yeah.
There's so many, and as you can see, this is roughly in order of gen. There's not many from the earlier gens. I couldn't really think of one from Gen 2 when I was going through that even had one that I would call a human Pokemon.
From Gen 2, did you say?
Yeah, from Gen 2.
I think that's it's kind of a strength of Gen 2.
I would
designs in Gen 2 are really good. There's a lot of really solid ones.
This, if anything, just proves that because they didn't have to resort to Pokemon but people.
I mean, yes, to be honest, looking at this list, there's a lot that I wouldn't have included, but again, that it's very hard to draw the line.
It's just when it got to the point where I was just like, if it's like, what else is it supposed to be based? If it's just based on a person, Like, that's the inspiration. One of them, and I'll get to it, is based on being a fucking yoga instructor or something. That's what Bulbapedia said. That's what I'm to believe. They're really just anything can be a yoga instructors. You've got representation. We're good. Okay. But yeah, you can see this is though just to show A, how many there are, and B, how much of a problem it became until we get to basically in the last column. You'll see like Incineroar. I almost included Dartrix because it has Robin Hood, but he doesn't really have like people body. He's still a bird, quite clearly.
Yeah.
Whereas Incineroar is not. He's not a cat. He's a furry boy. He's a furry boy. That's fine.
So yeah, I put that in the furry category. I would distinguish the two.
Yeah, it is just in the furry category, but it's more just it's just indicative.
Yes, it is. Now. Well, furries are based on a combination of a human and a cat, and Incineroar is based on a combination of a human and a cat. So
it's a spectrum of Pokemon to people, and furries are square in the middle.
Yeah, that's what all life forms on this earth are. They sit somewhere on that scale. Anyway, that doesn't make any sense.
Okay, the next thing, which I just also wanted to illustrate my point a bit further, is the whole idea of a body type, which body 12. It's not really named, but that's this sort of silhouette that they call out. This is body 12 and Pokemon of this type. You can see that there's fucking 500 of them. That I can see. There's at least 50. I can paginate to the next 50 if I so desired. There's a lot of Pokemon that identify as having this body type. It's interesting. It's very interesting.
Didn't quite grasp the magnitude of this.
Yeah. And there's also the human-like egg group.
That's a weird...
Yeah, that's a real... And that's full of stuff which I wouldn't put in this episode, like Alakazam is in there, who isn't really I don't really think of that as like a person. It looks too different, but I'm happy to be.
I think Mega Alakazam is.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah,
it's very much just looks like an old man.
Yeah. But there's 80. I think it's either 86 or 66. Either way, a lot in the human-like egg group. So there's a lot. The scope of the problem is monumental. But I was sort of thinking to myself, why would you have one that is just a person? What are the reasons that make sense?
Okay.
What are the valid reasons for being a people one, a Soylent one? And basically, I don't know. I don't really want to be the arbiter of all things.
You don't want to be James Turner.
I don't want to be James Turner. I'm not trying to be James Turner here. I'm not trying to do a Turner.
The art director. I should point out.
Yeah. But I thought maybe is it to do with the profession or like the whole idea of the Pokemon? Like if that's a thing that a human does it make sense? Or is it if it's just mimicking something that is a very human thing or a human activity that it should be a human looking thing as well? Is it based on like how smart it is, like an Alakazam or an Inteleon, which is supposed to be fucking Giga Brain? Or even our good Giga Brain friend that's coming in the expansion pass.
Oh shit. Yeah. It looks like oh man. It's so weird. It's so weird.
It is. It's very, very strange. So I'm keen to hear what you think about this, because I don't know what I would consider a valid reason, honestly, because I was thinking about it and I think all of three of these could be good, or some of them, or none of them. I don't know.
Do you mean valid reason in terms of in the minds of Game Freak or my mind?
Your mind.
I mean, bipedal is fine.
Yes.
And having 2 arms, 4 limbs is fine with me.
Yeah.
I gotta draw my line. I gotta figure that out.
It's tricky, and that's why I didn't want to put anything down, because I was thinking about it and I was like, I don't really know, because I can't definitively stand behind any of these dot points, because I know there's at least one that I disagree with on each of them.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. As long as you're not committing a crime, I think it's a good place to start.
A design crime.
We'll work backwards from there. A design crime. No, I mean a literal crime.
There's to be no killing, no thieving.
Yeah. So I guess you'd call Machoke profession-based because it's like a wrestler, right?
Well, yeah, I guess so. So
I don't know if I approve of Machoke. I think it might have been a mistake.
Possibly. It's very possible.
They opened Pandora's box right out of the gate.
They really did.
Yeah. Not like this Digimon content that we're hovering over everyone's heads. Profession-based, I will say no, mix it with something else.
Yeah.
What's his name? Smeargle?
Yeah, Smeagol. Smeagol.
Smeagol. Smeagol is bipedal, and it is based on a profession, which is a painter. And it's not, I wouldn't call it a Soylent Mon.
No, I wouldn't either. And it's weird too because I can't. It's very hard to put to draw the line on why it isn't. Because I don't know. It's not quite just the body proportions, but it sort of is. It's not quite the face, but it sort of is. It's not quite just his whole vibe, but it sort of is. It's just. I would say a little bit of everything. I would say makes him.
I would say no because no matter what profession it is, there's no way that it would necessitate being bipedal. I don't care what you come up with. I think I think that's a pretty blanket rule. So you can cross out one of those.
Yeah.
Now let's go on to the next one. Mimicry based? What do you mean by that?
If it's copying a human activity or a human object or a human sort of, or even a human, well, not a profession actually. I'll leave it at that. A human activity that isn't a profession.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about Cinderace a little bit. But also this is like Conkeldurr, where they're just construction worker type things, but they're not really. They're sort of a little bit different.
The thing with Cinderace is it still could have looked like a little rabbit, and it still could have been played soccer.
Mm-hmm.
So I think rule that one out as well. That's how I thought of a few examples of that in my head. I think that's okay to rule out.
Yeah, and for intelligence based, I'm talking like Lucario is supposed to be super fucking smart, Mewtwo's really smart, Inteleon, Alakazam, all the really smart ones that are supposed to have these psychic powers beyond our comprehension.
I think that's a really, really interesting point to bring up because you're codifying them as humans then in that case, which has some relevance, which is... Okay.
Yeah, and that's the other thing though, because there are intelligent Pokemon that don't have humanoid forms, like those weird fucking alien looking things, and okay. They're okay, I guess they exist.
Okay. I think intelligence based, yes, is a valid reason because you are codifying something. You still have to make that, you still have to have a good reason, but you are, implying that they have at least a level of human intelligence with that. At least our level or above.
Yeah.
I would more on the side of saying that they're probably equal intelligence to a human, whereas fucking deer with its fucking blueberry head appears to
beyond.
Yeah, it's beyond. Arceus is beyond. It's like a stag sort of thing.
Yeah.
So yes, I think intelligence base is valid. I'm glad I got to say yes to one of them.
Yeah, me too, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
And then that leaves us then with, well, I guess profession and mimicry are out, but what else is not a good, what else is not good enough?
Who is not good enough? I think that's the better question.
Who's not good enough? Who's just a bit shit?
I think if we move on to your examples in your next slides, we'll think of a few of them.
Yeah.
And I think these will be great ones to judge as well. We've both alluded to both of these, but
yes, yeah.
I think also people in chat ask yourselves that question.
It's a Soylent Mon if Rule 34 exists for it. That's then every Pokemon unfortunately becomes a Soylent Mon.
Yes. That's not what the debate was as well. The debate was the valid reasons for why it's okay.
That could be, well, yeah, let's not make that a valid reason.
Yeah. I think we established...
It's like a furry... We're going back into furry episode territory a little bit.
Yeah. Anyway, We'll get that part 2 out. Maybe we can have a crossover episode. Man, I just realized Drizzile is terrible.
In
this sprite, at least, I don't know if it looks better in a 3D model.
Yeah, he's better in the game.
This sprite makes him look terrible.
So I've made my love of Sobble extremely well known across the land. I'll tell anybody that I meet. Jehovah's Witness style. If you heard the good news, Sobble is here. And it was very clear from the trailer. It was a very, very clearly articulated Sobble. He's a nervous little thing. He's shy. He's anxious. He's worried. He's a bit sad. He cries when he gets a bit overwhelmed. He struggles a little bit. That's cool. That's who he is. And I've included some text accordingly that describes this. Then he turns into the emo little motherfucker right here, who I really like. I really, really like. I didn't when I first saw him, and he massively grew on me, especially using him in the game.
Just real quick, can you breed me one?
Can I what? Sorry.
Can you breed me one?
Yeah, I can do that. That's what I am. So,
okay.
Yeah. He does this thing, and it says it there. Whenever Drizzile attacks, he just sort of goes like this, and he just sort of spawns a water balloon, and then just goes whoosh, and then throws it at the other person. I just really like the idea that he's just an endless supply of water balloons that he throws at people. Like he's the kid in like they're in the school kids having a water balloon fight. I love it.
Like the Lemon of Troy episode of The Simpsons.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but when I think of like child antics, that's what I think about, and I think of that episode of The Simpsons.
Yeah.
Anyway, go on.
And then what they say here now is that he's actually Drizzile's quite smart. And I just want to add that this is all text from the Pokemon Sword and Shield website. I didn't really get this in the game. You don't get it from the Pokedex entries particularly either. But apparently he's quite smart. He's just very lazy. I guess to go along with his emo little boy. He's a moody teenager who's lazy and doesn't want to do anything. But I just want to make that point that this isn't anywhere. None of the information that I've put in here is actually in-game, from what I could tell. It's all on the official Sword and Shield website. So it is official, but it's not actually accessible to you if you just play the game. Which is interesting choice. To put this sort of information not communicated to you anywhere useful.
I got some information about alchemy from the Pokemon website. I've also made the discovery that there's a bunch of info on there.
Yeah. And it's good info that perhaps should be put in a place that is more readily accessible if you're just playing the game and not have to fucking go to the website to find out things that you wouldn't even know that are there to find out.
Yeah, Pokemon is definitely not the only what's the term? Bad person.
They're not the only criminal here.
Yes.
Yeah.
The criminal.
Yeah.
I think there's a typo in that second paragraph for Inteleon though, or maybe a word is being cut off, but it says Gigantamax Inteleon to hit even a berry.
Yes, I realised that now. I must have missed the start of the sentence. But yes, because I did copy this straight out of the website. And I just sort of wanted to point out that now Inteleon's very smart. He's highly intelligent. He's a fucking military strategic genius.
Looks like a bit of a dickhead.
He's fucking James Bond motherfucker over here.
Yeah.
And can fucking snipe a berry from 9 miles away. Complete and utter bullshit. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. I don't know why you have like a cute little anxious and nervous. Suddenly he's quite smart. Now he's very, very smart and a military genius.
Oh, yes.
That doesn't work for me. I don't think it works at all. And I know as soon as I realized what Inteleon was, I didn't like it. I always stopped using him completely, even though I loved Sobble. And I didn't even learn his name. I just called him Sobble still because I didn't accept this new Sobble.
Oh, yeah. Like every time I go to say Cinderace, I say Rabuto. which is what I've nicknamed it.
Nice. It's a glow up. I mean, yeah, like every evolution is a glow up. It doesn't make it to me. I don't know why he's so fucking smart. Like there's no seeds planted in game, and I'm not trying to say that as a dig on being smart or anything. Like, of course, Pokemon can become more intelligent as they evolve, but he just I don't know. He goes from I'm very nervous to I'm not so nervous anymore. I'm just a bit lazy. That's fine. To I am a military genius that can snipe a berry from 9 miles away. I feel like we're really glossing over the fact that he can snipe a fucking berry from 9. I went to 7 kilometers, actually. I don't know. 9 miles in kilometers. It's 15,
I can tell you,
fucking
yes.
14 and a half kilometers. What the fuck?
Yeah, he can do it. I think he's cool. Sorry, I was trying to come up with something because I need to make a point about you talking about the glow up.
Yeah.
And that is this, Bianca.
Mm-hmm.
All the world's a stage. And all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances. And so on. The point that I'm trying to make is a man has stages in his life. But no, I completely agree. It's stupid.
Yeah. I'm sorry. It just doesn't. I don't know where it comes from. And like, especially because he goes from lobbing water balloons to fucking sniping bitches. It doesn't make any sense. Like,
he should have been throwing water balloons in his first evolution.
Yes. It feels like they started too late. It's too. I've got whiplash from this fucking thing that's happening.
Okay, here's how we do it. First evolution is basically Drizzile. He throws water bombs and he's a little punk kid. Yeah. Second evolution, he gets like tied down and gets a mortgage and has some kids and has to work a desk job.
Yeah.
And then you go to Inteleon.
Yes. Yeah. I just feel like Inteleon will replace Daniel Craig. Yeah. He do a good fucking job.
I mean, I'd watch it.
Who wouldn't?
It would make $1 billion.
Why isn't fucking who owns it? Miramax? I don't know. Inline Cinema? Someone fucking pay me money. Pay Brendan money.
I'm fairly sure Miramax does not exist anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. That's the first production company that came to mind, and it was not a good one. So
we'll talk about Miramax off stream.
Yeah.
Cough. Harvey Weinstein. Cough.
Yeah.
Hey ho. Let's talk about Rabuto.
Let's talk about Rabuto. Okay, so, the Score Bunny. Cool.
Just be careful.
Yeah. Okay. I'm walking on eggshells here.
Around me is what I'm saying because of... Yeah. Hang on. What is... no, you might... you might get to it first. Go on.
Yeah. So, Score Bunny... Score Bunny's fine. He's fine. He's a good starter. He's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Then he turns into Rabuto. And this is where I actually wanted to ask you a question.
Yeah.
So, you'll notice I said here that this shit. It's all from the website. This is all from the website. I don't think it's in game. This is where I wanted to clarify with you. It says that Raboot usually practices its footwork by kicking berries from a tree's branches and then juggling them with his feet. Does it do this in game?
Cinderace does.
But Rabuto doesn't.
Rabuto might. I don't remember. However, I can... Cinderace's idle...
Cinderace definitely does, yeah.
Yeah, it's idle animation. It starts kicking a pebble.
Yeah, Cinderace definitely does. But what I would really love to know is if Rabuto Uzumaki does, because this is, I feel like, sort of another example of what I'm talking about, where it's just like going down one path or sort of progressing in a certain way and then taking a massive fucking leap for the final evolution.
Mm-hmm.
He's a cool bunny that likes to jump and be fast and a lot. Fine.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's a fucking ninja bunny. Fine, cool. Maybe he still likes to jump a lot. That's cool. Now he's a soccer player.
Mm-hmm.
That I cannot reconcile how Rabuto becomes Cinderace. And I don't know. I don't know if I'm missing something too. I didn't pick Score Bunny. I didn't go on the journey, so I don't know what I'm missing.
Couldn't disagree with you, Malbianca.
Okay, please enlighten me. Rabuto
is not a ninja. It's like a tracksuit. He's got the mouth thing because he's supposed to be wearing like a hoodie, like a tracksuit.
Like the hoodie's part of his tracksuit. You zip up to you zip up to here.
Yeah, because it's cold and he's waking up early in the morning in the morning cold to go training, so he can be a soccer player.
Oh, he's a so he's in. This is his athletics gear.
Yeah.
It definitely looks like a fucking ninja outfit to me.
Oh yeah, but we're projecting that because Naruto exists in this world.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
That's on us, and it's okay for us to do that because they should have known. It's possible they did this on purpose.
They misdirected me. James Turner has done this to me personally.
Fucking hell, Todd.
He's a chav.
He is a chav.
Okay.
But he's always smiling. He's always in a good mood. I don't think Cinderace would hurt anyone.
So again, because I didn't play as him, it just doesn't look immediately apparent. And maybe this is just me. It wouldn't surprise you if it's just me. That doesn't look immediately like a tracksuit to me. It looks like he's turning into a fucking ninja and we got Greninja 2.0 on our hands.
So see how there's like a little, like it looks like it's concealing something in its tummy?
Oh, like he's got a stomach? Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to ask you what that was, and then I figured out what it is. Because you only see it when you're hanging out in the camp, but it's his little pockets on his hoodie. So when he's in the camp, he walks around.
So he puts them in his pockets and he walks around.
Yeah.
Okay. Something you can't get without playing the game.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, then that kind of ruins my whole point that why is he a ninja and then also a soccer player? And does he do the juggling thing as Reboot? Because that would make a lot more sense if he started doing it at stage 2. It's again what I'm talking about, where like they started doing things a little bit too late. If he just starts doing it when he hulks out and becomes Cinderace. Also, I just want to say Cinderace looks like some sort of Thai god. I went to go get a massage today, and there were all these like things on the wall. Because I went to a Thai massage place, and I was looking at Cinderace, and I was like, "Damn, this is familiar."
That's great. I got a massage on Saturday.
Nice.
To fix my back, which was fucked because I was bouldering. I'm an exercise boy now.
I saw that you were talking about it, but there is definitely a Vice article floating around that is like why every male 20-something's favorite hobby is now bouldering / climbing.
Yeah.
Thought of a lot of people in our shared Discord.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I'm fine with that. I'm fine being a normie. So.
Okay, well then let's not embarrass myself anymore about Cinderace because I missed the fucking ball on that. Well, ball, get it? Soccer. Hey.
I get it.
Because then I want to talk about Gothita and Friends. And this is what I realized I should change this, because that's not in what universe does this make sense. That's in this universe it makes sense, because I think Lolita is a very good example of the design really matching the story. As much as I do want to just point out that Gothita makes you think of Lolita, it's not a good connotation. I don't know why they put this in a children's game.
Yeah, which one is? Oh, Lolita is the first one. Okay.
Yes. Oh, so this one is called Gothita, which immediately makes you think, especially because of how it looks, of Lolita, which just makes me think of. Pardon, sorry.
There's a cat joining me. Speaking of goths.
Excellent.
Come on, you little goth.
Come on, you're perfectly timed.
She's on the bed now.
Yeah, it makes me think of Lolita, and then therefore it just has the connotation of child prostitution, and that's a bad connotation. I just want to really, I don't know why they did that. I don't know why they made that choice. That is such a bad connotation to invite into your game, which is ostensibly for children. So there's that. Then Gothita evolves into
Is it
Gothorita? Gothorita.
Okay, I thought the last one was Gothorita. I don't know.
That's that's Gothet or something. Gothitelle.
Gothitelle.
Names. Yeah. And this is the manipulate Pokemon. And you can see here, I've yoinked some stuff from the Pokédex entries. It will just spirit steal children away in the night, just fucking to do shit with them. Which again, given what you have previously invoked in the other evolution, not a road that you really want to be going down.
No.
But there's also talking about there's a reference to calling it the Witch of Punishment, and I feel like as soon as you start talking about a witch, you've got to have an old woman. You've got to have a woman of some description.
Okay.
That's and the whole idea that there's the other thing that it starts with this middle evolution is it's attuned to the stars in the sky, so it's some sort of like spirit astral connection going on. It does witch, they call it a witch. It's stealing children. It's doing some sort of thing. That I'm on board with how it's now progressing. And then you get to Gothitelle. Gothitelle is the final one. Gothitelle can fucking see into the fucking future, and it knows when you will die, you as the trainer. It fucking, as soon as you catch it, just does astral projections. It's just like Final Destination. I know what's going on. It has
Shinigami eyes.
It absolutely fucking does. Yeah. And consequently it cries, like, because if it learns that you've only got 6 months left, it'll just have a big cry. But
yeah,
wild. But more to the point, this is something where this makes a lot of sense to me. It starts off because, and I didn't obviously include any information about Gothita because I was just so astonished that they really did that. But the whole thing with Gothita is it's got these ribbon things, which aren't ribbons. It makes it quite clear they're ribbon-like, and they're used to like channel its psychic powers into just like zeroing in and hypnotizing somebody, which Gothorita does to a greater extent and hypnotizes kids to follow it into the night to do, I don't know, astral projection shit with them.
I'm still losing track of which one is which. I'm just going to look this up.
Yeah, sure. They really should have actually named them better.
Okay, yeah, the last one is Gothitelle?
Yes. And the middle one is Gothorita. Not Gothita, Gothorita.
The first one is Gothita.
It's so fucking stupid. Okay, I'm going to do this. I should have done this from the start. Gothita. You are
Gothita, Gothorita, and Gothitelle.
There we go. We're getting there. This is a professional stream. Okay, there we go. They're named now. This though is one where the flow from evolution to evolution is consistent. Makes a lot of sense. I'm on board. Yep. I get it. And consequently, the design, which is a person, mirrors it to me. I hate how it starts. I can't stress that enough. I really hate how it starts. But I like how it ends, and I like that it's a person, like a humanoid, the whole way through. I'm very on board with it. I'm keen to know if anyone else agrees with me.
I haven't said anything on my opinions yet, so I'm ready. I'm ready to unleash.
Go for it.
Let's start from the start.
No, it's not a good start.
Gothita. There's literally no aspect that's good.
I don't like Gothita. I really don't like Gothita.
I know I might rework my star system because this is... I don't want to group Gothita up into give it a 1 star the same as Jinx. I feel like it's worse. Like...
I really don't
just
like
the connotations Gothita. And everything.
Yeah, I really don't. It's to do with the fact that it looks like a baby Pokemon, and I know I've talked about this to death. I fucking hate when it's just baby. I hate baby Mario. I hate baby Yoshi. I don't hate baby Yoshi. I hate baby Mario. I hate baby Coco, which is going to give me 2 big fingers because I'm right. I don't like baby Coco and Crash. I don't like any of the baby things. And Gothita looks like a baby. And I hate it.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
I hate it. And I hate that it's fucking named Gothita because it makes you think of Lolita, which was a novel about a fucking stepfather that sexually molested his stepdaughter and forced him into child prostitution. It's a bad connotation and we should not have gone there at all.
Mm-hmm.
Bad, bad, bad.
Mm-hmm.
Gothorita and Gothitelle, much better.
This is, before I forget to, you know how we were talking about doing the sprite fixings?
Yeah.
I would like to, I'm going to have a crack at this with this whole evolution. But I'll move on. Gothorita, don't like it. It's too much of what you were talking about before. Too humanoid, too weird. However, Gothitelle...
Oops, can't do that anymore. Sorry. But yes, absolutely.
Or this. I think Gothitelle is cool.
Yeah.
I don't like the eyes. But yeah, I think I like it. And I think the last one is a good reason to be a Soylent Mon. I don't think the first two are.
If they're leading to a third one, they kind of have to be, though.
Oh yeah, but the designs don't justify the Soylent decision.
Yeah.
They didn't.
Gothita
I mean,
is
they
barely
didn't.
Soylent. I'm just including it for all of it. It's really only, I think, number 2 and number 3 that warrant it.
I mean, they didn't try to make a child molest Pokemon.
They did.
But but they weren't. I mean, they weren't aiming to do that. So
It certainly wasn't the goal.
yes, I wasn't trying to turn this into a joke, by the way. But yeah, Gothorita. Yeah, I think it would be a lot better if they just cut the legs off and it was like a weird floaty chest piece looking thing.
Well, I don't know if I agree, but I would love to see if you are going to fix the sprite. When I see it, maybe I'll agree.
Mm-hmm. When I fix the Gothita sprite, there'll just be a big red X.
Yes, there's no redeeming.
It doesn't need a first evolution. I mean, it has one because this was the equivalent of the Kadabra Alakazam line, I think.
Yeah, because they're big psychic powered. They're big psychically fucking juiced up mons.
I'm sorry that we didn't include this meme up until now.
Oh yes, sorry. Because it can. It goes you get a fucking, what's it called? You get a Gothitelle. And then it's fucking sees through time to know how long you've got left to live. And does astral fucking projections, which is insane. It's actually really fucking cool.
It's cool as hell. It's really cool. Yeah. It is extremely cool.
Yeah.
These I just really fucking
hate
just a sampling.
I wanted an excuse to dunk on them.
Yeah. Sorkin, look, real quick, Sork and Thor in particular, I didn't have much to say other than they're fucking terrible both.
They're so bad. And the Gen 5, they're clearly there because they wanted to redo Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan. And they fucked up big time. They really fucked up. It was a big mistake, a big error.
Yeah.
And I had a whole slide that was just dunking on the two of them, and I was like, I don't want to be too mean. I'll just put him in at the end and we can...
Oh, no, I would have liked that.
Yeah, sorry.
It's okay.
Can I just talk about how much I fucking hate Medicham? This is what I was talking about. This is what fucking Bulbapedia says, that it resembles a yoga practitioner. What the fuck? Is this
what it is?
Is this what Game Freak thinks going to yoga is like? This weird fucking clown man with pants that teaches you how to stretch? What the fuck?
So
not good.
No, very, very bad. So it reminded... I always fucking hated it as well. This is the first I've heard about yoga.
Yeah.
It reminds me of this red mushroom that was in our primary school garden. And I'm trying to find a picture of it. They looked really disgusting and they were red and they look exactly like this. And I was like, Trypophobia fucking city, which is where I fucking probably first encountered this issue for me. Now that I think about it.
Yeah.
Mushroom from Hell pops up in Lismore.
Love a good mushroom from hell.
Is this it? Fungus, starfish fungus. I'm not going to pull up a picture of it on stream. But that's what fucking Medichamp or whatever it's called fucking
starfish fungus. I'm Googling on my end. Holy shit, yeah, it absolutely does. Oh god, that's awful. Goodbye. Not looking at that again. So Medichamp's whole shtick is that it meditates and it's fucking starves itself for a greater state of nirvana or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got this weird thing on its head that turns into a big kind of turban looking thing when it goes mega. This one has a mega, by the way.
Oh, that's right.
This one got mega.
Lopunny got mega. Humanoids, fucking Soylent Green was the one. Yeah.
Oh, don't like it. Speaking of Soylent Green, this is the Green Man himself. Now, there's nothing to justify him just standing up on two legs. He's a monkey, so he's related to humans, but monkeys don't walk on two legs all the time.
Yeah, and he looks very comfortable in his stance.
He's extremely fucking comfortable with his big pointy head and his two legs, and that's not because that's the thing. It's like, and it's Simi Sage or whatever. They're all got the Simi something. Like Simeon, like a monkey. Like
yes. We did have a whole episode on this.
We did. Sorry, I forget.
No, it's okay.
Stupid walking monkey. Fuck him.
All your points still stand.
Yeah. It's just, there's no reason for him to walk on two legs. There's nothing. He's so light on lore, this one, I gotta say. He's so light. I was like, surely there's gonna be something to explain who he is.
No, that's fine. It's incredibly hot.
It is incredibly hot. And we are at time.
Not Simi Sage. Fucking Simi cunt over here. Thank you for joining us, everyone.
Thank you. Yes. And thank you for listening to my ramblings and my misinformed takes on Cinderace.
That's fine. We will learn. I will do some research though. I will breed one and get
if you can find out if Reboot does the juggling thing, because or whether that's just something that's on the website, because that's a whole other thing. If it's just this random piece of information that's on the website and is not supported by anything else whatsoever.
That'd be interesting. Or we can just trade. Do you have a Scorbunny already?
I think I do. I think I got one from Wonder Trade, but I have a bunch of Sobbles already that I bred because I knew that people would want them. So I just have to play Pokemon. I've barely done it since I moved because 8.3 came out and well.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
I will. I was thinking about it today. I was like, I really fucking play some Pokemon. So
good idea. I like that.
Yeah, it's a good idea. Yeah.
All right.
Alrighty. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.